During this feature, I've spoken to people from all walks of life, but I think my guest today has certainly had the most varied and interesting career, working solidly in television, film, theatre, as well as teaching. He never stops. So I'd like to introduce fight director Kevin McCurdy. How are you, Kev?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Not bad, thanks. And you keeping yourself busy during all this?
Yeah, very. So I've been writing, I've been pitching new ideas, I've been building websites, new show reels. Yeah, just everything. Just getting ready for the next wave, basically. So when we do finally get back to work, I'm ready to go.
The title of fight director isn't fair enough because you also direct more recently, and you do a bit of everything really, whatever comes along.
Yeah, I'm not scared of anything. I'll give anything a go. And with directing, it's kind of like the next progressive thing on from fight directing. So I can just use my directing skills, so to speak, and get back to my acting roots as well, because that's where I started from, and just build it all together. So yeah, I'm just having fun at the moment.
So having started out as an actor then, Doctor Who must have been quite an early job as a fight director then.
I did Doctor Who in 2005. So I'd already started getting on the ladder with all the Welsh language television stuff that was happening down here. So I was learning my trade as well as going off and still acting. I was literally still acting then. So I was zooming around the UK. I'd already worked in America, doing a tour over there, and then got back. Done some #1 tours, just working everywhere. And then I had a phone call saying about Doctor Who, and I was like, yeah, okay, excellent. So just to come on and just to choreograph it. And just meeting Mr. Tennant, and we've worked together a few times since. And Sandra Dickinson, his mom-in-law, I know very well, and husband I taught in drama college. So we still got the link, and with all of Dave's family as well. So every now and again we say hi, But yeah, 2005 game changer. Really good fun.
So it's worth saying we're talking about the Christmas Invasion, which was Tennant's first Doctor Who.
That's
At
right.
that time, had any of the new series gone out, or was it just you've got to be very secretive about it and come and work on it?
Had to be ridiculously secretive. It was literally, right, do not tell anybody. And I was like, okay, done, fine. I'm not blowing this. That's absolutely fine. I told my partner and daughter, because they were massive Doctor Who fans and stuff. So I brought them on set, but I literally said, you are not to tell anybody, So, but everybody on set was cool. Daughter totally just lost the plot. We showed we showed everybody the Daleks and going around and the set, and so it was a really good day. It's a really good day for them. But yeah, we had such good fun. Building up the whole sword fight, because what you saw on TV was literally a minute. I think in total when they all cut it together it was about a minute. But we did about 6 minutes worth of sword fight choreo, and that was just for the inside of the ship, and then you had the outside of the ship as well, but so in total there was about 9-minute fight.
So to develop all that, how much of the preparation time did you have?
Not much. Not much. We had about 3 3-hour rehearsals, to be absolutely honest. It wasn't that much time. We literally just had to really just work it. And every time we were sending stuff off, so I was recording it and stuff, and then we were sending it off to James and director, and then he'd go back and he'd like go, yeah, that's absolutely great. More, I want more. And it was like, we're not going to show all this on TV. It doesn't matter. Just keep on going. So it's like, all right. So yes, he just built up to this massive fight. And then when we ran the first section, the first time, it was non-stop with dialogue and stuff. And the lads, Dave, Sean, Gilder as well, absolutely brilliant playing the Sycorax, absolutely brilliant. And they just collapsed on the floor, absolutely knackered by the end of it. But in that rehearsal, they broke it, and they absolutely just went, yeah, this is what it's supposed to be, you know. And we just had a ball doing it, you know. So, and then we had to do the outside of the ship as well, and that was fun. So,
because am I right in thinking, as well as choreographing it, you also doubled the Sycorax Leader, Sean's part?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. It was because we were filming in Clearwell Caves, so we were in the caves, and Sean was wearing these very special lenses, and they had to be taken out every hour and 20. Otherwise, they would stick to his eyes because there's no liquid down there, basically. Anything. It was just really, really dry. So they had to take him back up to surface level, and we had an hour to go. James was jumping around going, we've got a jib over here that costs a ridiculous amount of money. We haven't used it yet, and we need the shot. We've got that. And Sean's gone upstairs, and it's going to take him 20 minutes to get up there. Then he's take the lenses out and come back. It's not going to happen. And Dave and I looked at each other, and Mr. Tennant went, Kev knows the fight. And I looked, and I went, yeah, I do. You know, and James looked at me and went, really? I went, well, I did choreograph it. And he went, yeah, you did, didn't you? What shoe size are you? I says, I'm exactly the same height and I'm the same shoe size. You know, and James just grabbed a mic and just went, get the costume ready, get the stunt mask ready. Kev's coming up now, get him dressed, go. Boom, he shouted at me, go now, go. So I was like, right. And I just thought, yeah, I'm in the universe now. Brilliant. You know, so sprinted upstairs into, you know, that was literally 20 minutes. So to get out of the caves, through the caves, up onto the lot, get changed, mask on, back down, covered me with a blanket because there was people outside and they were trying to take photos and stuff. So it was kind of like, right, so to go all the way down and then back in the caves. And then we literally had one rehearsal. And then it was like, right, let's just shoot it. So then we just shot it from various angles, using the jib, using the cameras. And yeah, we just got these various shots that they needed. So it was great fun. So I'm very happy to be able to wear the costume and just to get in, just to jump in. So yes, all thanks to David Tennant for that one.
So did Sean actually do any of the fight, or was it just the odd close-up, really?
No, he did it all. Oh yeah, he wasn't gonna turn that one down. No, he did it all. Yeah, he did it all. I did when we were in the cave, because we needed some cutaway shots, and we needed some zooming of feet and shoots, and shots going through of Billy and Noel and everybody there. So we had those shots running through. But yeah, we still ran the fight, and we picked up some extra shots of David as well. So they did his POV and did me over the shoulder and stuff. So yeah, so it was cool. So we got a lot done in an hour. Yeah.
And something like that, does it start with the script or the actor's ability? Where do you begin to build a fight like that?
Script first. So always begin with the script. Always begin with the story, and you can kind of work out the beats from there. And then throughout the process, you then start to see how the actors can move, how they respond with the weapons, as well as responding to each other and responding to what I'm giving them. We did go through a lot of changes because there were some moves that just didn't work. I tried them out and go, well, yeah, this feels okay. And then it's kind of like, no, it doesn't. Let's just get rid of it. I'm not, I don't hold anything. It's all, for me, it's all about the story, and it can be the most basic looking fight, but as long as it tells the story, absolutely fine. So I'm not one to go, right, we're going to do these amazing moves that they will never be able to do. So for me, story first, and then we build from there.
In terms of television, another series that keeps you very busy is Hollyoaks, which is not a series I immediately think has a lot of stunts, but you always seem to be working on it.
Yeah. I've been on it. Been on Hollyoaks 4 years now. So yeah, great fun. That was I would play the police officer to begin with on it, and I had to get smacked around the face by one of the actresses. purely by accident, by breaking a fight up. So we literally just had that, bang, got smacked, and then that was it. Thank you very much. And then got given a couple of lines. And then it started from there. Then you know, they went, oh yeah, okay, cool. Well, we've got this one coming up next week. Can you do that? And I was like, yep. And then it just built from there, basically. So, and it's great working on that series because they work fast. You know, it's kind of like, right, we've got the script, here it is. So let's work this out, blah, 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 done. But also as well, they have a thing called compliance because it goes out at that particular time frame where, you know, young people are still watching it. We have to think outside the box as to how to get all the action workable, to get the story across, but also we don't give anything away. You know, like we don't show what's going to happen next. We don't go here and then we're going to do this, because all it takes is somebody to go, right, we're doing this, and then, oh, well, I saw them do this on Hollyoaks. You know, so kind of like everything that we do just comes out of nowhere. So there's no time to prep, so they can't learn it, you know, or we do cutaways just before we're about to do something. You know, it's great because it's a really good process for me to go, okay, then fine, now we're thinking differently. It's not just the normal, and we're here, and we take a punch, and then we go over here, we go onto the floor. You know, it's always a different way of doing it, and it keeps me sharp, you know, and they're lovely up there as well. They're really good fun up there. All the actors and actresses are game for everything, you know, so you will always see the actor and actress do it, you know, unless it's a big thing. Then you get the stunt players in, but otherwise, any fights that are on there, it's them doing it, and they're great doing it.
But that must be quite particular to something like Hollyoaks, because you think of anything today, and there's a stuntman in to do seemingly some of the smaller things as well.
Yeah, and you know, because talking from being an actor myself, I want to do it, you know, so. And I'm very fortunate because I can do it, and I have been able to do it in the past on various things, you know. And at the same time, it's kind of like you can see actors every now and again going, "Yeah, we've got a fight sequence today. That's great, that's great, that's great." And then all it is that for them, that's all you see, you know. So when they watch it back, they will see themselves doing it, but when they actually go to the cut version, that's all they see, because then they get the stunt guys doing it. No offense on stunt guys, and you know, that's how it is, you know. It's all to do with insurance and stuff. But you know, you're an actor. You want to do it. You want to be show. You know, you want to show the audience that you can do it. So yeah, so it's great to be on Hollyoaks, to be on Pobla Come down here. You know, you see it on Corrie every now and again. You see it on EastEnders and stuff. You see the actors do it, which is great, because then as an audience member, you can relate to it more. You know, you can join with the actor more and going through what they're feeling, what they're thinking, you know, more so than, and you're building it up, cut, you know, and then you see the back of them or something, you know, it's not them, you know. So for me, it's great just to be able to go, we're going to do this, and you're on camera doing it. You know, you see their eyes light up and go, great stuff, you know, so.
And as an actor, when you started to move into the fight side of things, who are the people you would have learnt from? How did that come about?
People I learned from, I had my teacher, Steve Wilshire at Royal Welsh College to begin with. When we first started, I apprenticed under him for 5 years. So I became his apprentice in my first term, at the end of the first term of college. We just clicked, and all the movement and all the fight stuff just clicked with me. So it was fun. It was, you know, every week was fun. And I learned from him. And then I got the chance to go to Canada. And so I went over to Canada and I worked with some amazing people over in Canada, and I learned off them. And then when I came back, then it was literally right straight into acting world. But then also because I had on my CV, I was a fight teacher. So then I was working a lot with the amateur companies. I was choreographing all of them. So there's one of the best ways just to learn, which is to go and choreograph with all the amateur companies around the UK. And it's amazing how much money amateur companies actually have, because some of their sets are amazing, you know, and the time that they have as well. And they really want to do it. So it was great. It was a great learning platform for me to do all that. And then bouncing into TV through acting, and then learning how the camera works, literally by being in front of it. Wasn't doing any fight stuff, but literally just being in front of it. And then when I got my first fight gig on Publicon, was awesome, you know. And then I was with them on and off constantly for 14 years. And then it started to take off everywhere else. So TV, film, then loads of stage, and you know, even more stage stuff, and then got into motion capture a little bit, did some stuff, did some games. So yeah, so it's kind of like branched out. Did radio. I've done 2 fights on radio. Yeah, so it's everywhere.
It's worth pointing out that all of these, you know, NT Lives, theatre productions online, your name is more often than not on the credits of the National Theatre, the RSC. You know, you seemingly worked on every major tour that's going on at any one point. How did that, was that just starting to happen as people became more aware of who you were, or you got to know the people?
I enjoy what I do, and I'm very thorough at what I do. I have a lot of fun when I'm working with actors. It's great being an actor because I can talk their language, you know, and every time I go and get a job, it doesn't matter if I know the play because I've done it so many times or I've been in it in the past. I will always research the play, and then I will always learn the lines. So that way then when we're cultivating the fight together, and I love collaboration, I love just getting together and going, right, let's see what you got. Talk to me, you know. So then we get all this amount of information in the room, and then we start building it, because at the end of the day, it's not me performing the fight. You know, they're performing the fight 8 times a week. So it has to fit in with their physiology and their mentality of what the play is all about and what that particular scene is all about and where the through line is going to be and where the fight actually starts, which isn't where it says in the script and they fight. The fight started probably 2 or 3 pages before. So for me, the joy is finding that fire point as to where it starts from and then building it all the way through till we get to that point in the script where it says, and they fight, you know, because that is the culmination of the fact that they cannot talk about it anymore. It launches into a fight, you know. So for me, that's the joy of it. And to work with the actors to find that link coming all the way through is heaven, absolute heaven for me, you know. So I've been very fortunate. Yes, I've worked on a lot of shows, and all very diverse, and some amazing people out there. And yeah, just working that journey with them is brilliant, you know. So hopefully it'll never stop.
And when you work on a stage production, obviously that's being done live. How does that influence the moves or the sort of scale of the fight?
All depends on the play. So for example, we did Antony and Cleopatra, massive, you know, a massive set, massive ideas, big players, you know, Sophie Okonedo, Ray Fiennes, you know, you're gonna give them big things to do, you know, and for them just to have fun with it. Like when we did that battle sequence in Antony and Cleopatra, that was challenging. I mean, working with Jonathan and Shelley, they were the movement choreographers, and all 3 of us, we just got our heads together and just right, how are we going to do this? You know, because it was on a revolve. It had to fit a particular type of music. It had to fit the length of the music. And we had to get in the whole fact of having a full-on street battle, you know, being ambushed, guns going off everywhere, planes going across. We had explosions going off. We had people being shot. We had knife fights happening. It was on the revolve, you know, so we had all of that to do. That was challenging, you know, but it looked amazing, you know. So that wasn't just me. That was a team effort. Everybody, you know, soundscape, lighting, you know, the director screaming at us going, no, this way, sorry, okay, fine, you know, so let's do it again, you know. So that one was challenging, but brilliant fun. You know, every single fight that I do is a challenge. I never turn up to a place and go, this is going to be easy. it's always a challenge. Everything about it is a challenge.
And before the isolation began, were you working on anything, or is there anything yet to come out that we can look forward to?
I had a lot of stuff that was happening, and then it all got closed down. The Dumbwaiter at Hampstead Theatre was literally just about to start. Just about to start work on Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg and Jennifer Saunders. That's been pushed on now. What else? Hamlet at the Young Vic with Cush Jumbo. So still in talks about that and seeing what's happening with that. Phantom of the Opera tour was rolling at the moment then. Les Mis tour and down at the West End was happening. I was over in Holland doing Tina Turner the musical. I was going to be starting a film in September as well. So lot of stuff. Romeo and Juliet, Regent's Park. So yeah, so everything at the moment is up in the air and still in talks about when things are going to happen and start to go back, back into shape. Hopefully it may start the end of this year, if not next year. But I know when things do get back, I'm busy for the next year, possibly next year and a half. So yeah.
Well, you never seem to stop, but there's plenty to look forward to. And,
Yeah.
I want to ask one final question, if I may, about your association with John Greenwood, who was a stuntman and the fight director from for the very early days of it. How did you come to work with him?
John, I first met when we were all in the British Academy of Dramatic Combat. He was one of the examiners, and so that's how we first met. And then we just developed a very close friendship over the years, and absolutely beautiful man. Passed away a couple of years ago, but just his spirit, just encompassed who he was. It's very rare when you come across a person who just breathes positivity, regardless of what's going on. He's just positive in everything that you do. He was so giving in everything. He's absolutely lethal with a sword. I mean lethal. I mean, we were literally half his age and he was beating us. He was still lunging like a kid. When he was, I think he was 65, when he was 65, 66, his wife told him off for doing combat roles. Not because he couldn't do them, he could do them very, very well. It's just the fact he's having trouble getting up. So she told him off and said, you can't do them. But, so we laughed about that, but he still did it. There's no way going to stop him. But yeah, to see him in the episode, the Doctor Who episode, we've all seen it, and just brilliant. You can see it there. You can see his focus there. You can see his passion there, the technicality. You can see it all. And, understandable, then he became Laurence Olivier's personal choreographer, and because he just tells it as it is. If he doesn't like anything, he tells you. And that's what he did with Olivier. Olivier was doing his thing the one day, and John just kept on shaking his head. And in the end, Olivier just turned around and went, "Why do you keep on shaking your head?" And he says, "We're doing it wrong. You need to be doing this, this, and this." And then John walked off and thought, "That's it. I'm fired. I'm never going to get hired again anywhere and stuff," because Olivier went off and had a bit of a sulk. But then he came back and went, "Right, you're going to stick with me because you're the only person who's told me the truth." And that was it then. So everywhere Olivier went, John went, and was his personal choreographer. So it was just great just to have, just to be part of, a living legend's life for a while, and to hear all the stories. And, we shared many a wine together. And regaling stories and stuff. And his passion then, you know, up until last year was still there. You know, he is sorely missed, you know, in the stage combat world. He is sorely missed, you know. Lovely, lovely guy. Always here.
Oh, well, I think on the note of John Greenwood, the fantastic fight director and clearly very good friend, I'd like to say thank you very much for your time, Kev.
Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you, man. Good to see you.